Angelina Jolie once said, "We must send a message across the world that there is no disgrace in being a survivor of sexual violence. The shame is on the aggressor." Now, sexual assault is a touchy subject for a lot of people because they have been sexually assaulted themselves or know a friend or family member that has. So today we're going to be talking about the ignorance of sexual assault and how it has been a big issue in our world for multiple years, affecting the lives of many people. So first, I'm going to talk about sexual assault itself, what it is, and effect of the problem. And then I'm going to talk about a story of sexual assault and along with the effects that can happen after you are sexually assaulted. Then I'm going to go in and talk about possible ways we can help the victims. So first of all, sexual assault, what it is. According to RAINN.org, which is the nation's largest sexual violence organization, sexual assault is sexual contact or behavior that is unwanted. And now when many people think of sexual assault, they think of rape, which rape is a form of sexual assault. However, it can also be unwanted touching or fondling of a person. According to Miles, in her article, The Failures of the Criminal Justice System, 63% of sexual assault cases are not reported to the police. And this could be because many people think that if they report it to the police, nothing will be done about it because they've seen facts and statistics to back it up. For example, I have this chart here from the Lonsway and Archambault article, The Justice Gaps for Sexual Assault Cases, and from a scholarly article, and this graph puts rape cases specifically into scale of 100 to make it more simplistic. So if 100 rapes are committed, only 5 to 20 will be actually reported. Then it gets even lower to around 0 to 5 being prosecuted, and even lower to 0 to 3 having a felony conviction, and 0 to 1 being actually put in jail. Now, this puts in perspective that out of 100 rapes committed, only one person will be put in jail approximately. And this could be due to the ignorance and the lack of knowledge that people have on what to do when they're raped, because a lot of cases are dropped due to the fact that there's not enough evidence to carry on with the case. So next we're going to move on, and I'm going to tell you about a story of sexual assault. So this book was written by Laurie Anderson. It's called Sppech, and it goes and tells the story of a 14-year-old girl and how she was raped. And it goes along to tell you how she had to deal with it because she had to go to school with the same person that raped her in the past summer. And then it goes through the thought processes of self-harm that she had after it, and also the fact that she felt very isolated. Now, even though this is a fictional story, Laurie Anderson, the author of the story, got the experiences of the main character from her own experiences because, like the main character, Laurie Anderson was also raped the summer before her freshman year. Now, learning about sexual assault is very important because it can affect you or family members, and the effects of being sexually assaulted have some very negative factors, such as depression, getting an eating disorder, PTSD, or even thoughts of suicide, and nobody really wants their family members or friends to go through any of that, let alone themselves. So now we're going to talk about the possible solutions. So first of all, raising awareness. A lot of times victims don't feel the need to speak out about it because other people victim blame. And victim blaming is basically when somebody says, "Oh, well, what were you wearing the night of whatever that happened?" Or "You were being very flirtatious, that's why that happened." Now, this doesn't create a safe environment for any of the victims, and it allows them to close up and less stories will be heard. Spreading awareness helps the victim themselves, helps them express whatever they're feeling, but also raising awareness of the aggressors. If more people know about who the aggressor is and what they've done, even if they don't get locked away, it'll help other possible victims stay away from that person, leading to less sexual assault cases. Along with that, there's a big issue in the justice system because there's not enough evidence. To help create evidence, not really create, but help maintain the evidence, we need to educate young ones and everybody on what to do if they're raped. So, in Gordon's article, What to Do If You're Raped, it expresses how you should not shower, you should not brush your teeth, you should not eat or drink until you are medically examined. So, usually, when somebody gets sexual assaulted, especially when they are raped, they will scrub every part of their body in order to get rid of any last remembrance of the aggressor, which gets rid of all the evidence. And because of that, we're not allowed, court cases are not allowed to go further into the case because there's not enough evidence. If we create evidence, that'll actually allow the courts to get a step closer to locking up more aggressors to prevent the cases. So, if there's more awareness on what to do and how to help victims themselves, it'll help mental health rates and the possible sexual assault rates. So, today I talked about the problems of sexual assault and how it affects the world. And to conclude, I talked about the stories of sexual assault and how it affects people and how you could possibly help it. Because, like Angelina Jolie once said, we need to spread a message across the world that there is no disgrace in being a survivor of sexual violence. The shame is on the aggressor.